Okay, let's try again, and this time in English. That was the primary language I wanted to speak in, but apparently I forgot, and my brain is pretty fried. My stomach is pretty bad, and it's just not going my way. Um, Very annoying. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure what is the issue. If it's because I'm taking vitamins or something like that, is destroying the stomach or something like that. Very annoying. Or I think it's the vitamins. I'm on this meat diet, and where you mostly eat meat, actually, meat and fat. And you have this period where you transition period and all that, and I thought I was over it. But in regards to the stomach and all that, but it seems like I destroyed things again. So very annoying. Anyway, so that's what happens. So, any case, I wanted to go through some of these programs before deleting them. And in regards of space, and because people say the Earth is flat and all that, and satellites doesn't exist, and so forth and so forth. Yay! So I have some programs we're going to run through, and people can download them and try them for themselves and do whatever they like. Let's just take the first one. That's a GPS satellite program. Let's see if we can. Yep, there we go. And there you can see all the GPS satellites and so forth, and how high you are up. And I'm on third floor, so 20 meters up apparently. Don't really need the program at the moment, but just to show that there are some satellites apparently, that it's so it tracks where I am and so forth. So yeah, not very exciting, but it is, it exists and so forth. Let's delete that one, and let's go to the next one. We have let's have some. I wonder if the light condition actually it's actually different when you actually push that for. I wonder if I push it down to lowest. I should probably be the same, in regards to the recording, I would think anyway. So here we have NASA. NASA videos, missions, tweets, features, images, TV, audio, and news. I haven't really looked much into it. You need to have internet connection, and I don't really like programs that use internet. But any case, so there's some information about things here from their perspective.
So they'll be launching on the 3rd, and right now they're scheduled to do what we call a shorter rendezvous profile, a 4-orbit rendezvous. So they will actually launch and dock on the same day. That's in comparison to our flight. When we launched on June 6th, we actually took a 2-day ride all the way to ISS. And so they will be with us for about 17 days, because right now our crew is scheduled to undock Kazakhstan time on December 20th.
December 20th.
Sounds like it's live. See.
So you've been there.
Just so you know, June. We just departed the east coast of the United States, and we're in the Atlantic, heading south.
A great hair.
So I asked readers for questions that they might want to ask you, and I got a few responses. And one of them, and I'm sure you get this all the time, is, you've been up there since June. What do you miss most on Earth, or from being on Earth?
That's pretty easy, and that's your family. It is even prior to preparation or to the actual launch of the flight itself, you are in training for about 2 to 2.5 years, and most of that time you're overseas. Number one, training on the Soyuz vehicle that we fly on, and training on the Russian systems, and also all of our other international partner modules. And so you're gone from family during that time period as well. And then I left Houston at the end of April to prepare for this launch. So I think folks think that when we leave for launch, we go right to Baikonur and launch in a couple days. But it takes a lot of preparation to get ready.
Yeah, that's.
So I am looking forward to seeing my family and seeing Earth.
Yeah, I bet. Well, it sounds like it's been a great experience for you, professionally. What about personally? I mean, what is it like to be up there, and how can you not just stare out the window all day long, looking at the view?
Yeah, so sometimes, it's funny, some days you're so busy with all the work and all the science that we're doing, you almost don't find time to look out the window, and we do have to remind ourselves to go to the cupola and just stop and take a deep breath and look. Personally, a lot of the science that we've been doing up here it's been very personally and professionally very gratifying, especially as a physician, because
Okay.
feel like a lot of the science we're doing up here does benefit humankind. And so for me, that was one of my personal goals when I got up here, would be to perform science in those areas, and we've been able to do that. So and it's not just human science that we perform, obviously. There's everything from material science to technology demonstrations. So my day is all over the map when it comes to activities. In fact, today, right before I stepped into this interview, Alex and I were looking at the plants that we are growing in the Columbus module. We're trying to grow some plants so we can have a salad in time for Thanksgiving. And so we're growing some kale.
I'm sure you can find some
lettuce, right?
interesting things in this. And look at things. Anyway, so that was some of it anyway, and videos, missions, and so forth. I don't really, I'm sure there's a lot of things, but there's a lot of other things to, study and all that. So this is also going to be deleted. I just don't have time for it. But it looked pretty interesting in regards of live recordings, probably from the International Space Station. So anyway, let's see orbits. Do I have some water? Yeah, there's water in it. So here we have satellites, a program in regards of satellites where you can see all the satellites that are around. And you have different satellites. Brightest ISS, that's the space station. And you can see the space station. That may actually be the place where she was actually talking from. So she actually talked about she was on the south coast of something. I can't remember what it was, but maybe it fits. I don't know. I need to check it again to see what she actually said. But interesting anyway. If it matches anyway. So one of the most interesting things I think in regards of satellites is Iridium. And Iridium satellites are apparently some satellites that makes a light glimmer. So at some point of time, they have something that apparently, I'm not sure if it's a mirror or something like that, but where the sun hits and it makes a light, as I understand it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was something like that. So it makes a light. So if you're looking up on the sky and know when it is and where it should be, you can actually see this, where it turns on and you can follow it on the sky. Just to see that actually satellites exist up in space and all that. So that's one way, because some of the flat earthers, or flatters, some call them flatters, say that that's the meat diet. When you're on a meat diet, you get a voice that is more rough. If you want on one of those only starch diets, you usually tend to cough a lot. At least two of the guys that promotes the starch, diet, just coughs a lot and have like a special cough. And I got it myself when I tried that diet, and I was like, nope, I don't think so. Any case, in regards of eating only meat, you get this voice that is a little more rough. It's not like it seemed like less oily in regards of speaking and all that when you only eat meat. And I have other guys I've seen this phenomenon with, and I got it myself as well. So that's observable science in some sense. You can see other people doing it and getting it, and including myself. So anyway, but it's a diet without sugar. So but it tends to have a little in regards of the stomach. But anyway, back to the topic. We are going astray. So you can see the satellites where they are in this program, and again, the thing is you can't really see when and where and so forth. So again, I can't really use it for much, but so it's going to be deleted as well. But nice to see if just to have some things to piece the puzzle together in regards of. So here we have, if the Earth is round, not flat. But so here we have a program in regards of the ISS, and have a camera where it shows the Earth from the ISS, or the International Space Station, I think it's called, and it's going close to Chile now. And Chile, they have some lambs on the southern of Chile, apparently. I'm still checking if they actually slaughter it to Satan. If they slaughter it, halal meat and all that. Slaughter it to a false god and so forth. But the other ones that are over at Australia, there's like a New Zealand, I think. Yeah, New Zealand. New Zealand has a lot of lambs, but apparently I talked to some guy and he said that, the things that we are importing from New Zealand are slaughtered to Satan, slaughtered to Allah, which have no son, that would be Satan. In any case, so in regards of Chile, I need to talk to them in regards of their lambs. But in any case, I'm looking into, people from my own country where I can order from and know that it's not slaughtered to Satan. So the meat is not, sacrificed to false gods and so forth. So we are not defiling ourselves by eating it. Did it break? I think it broke. Oh. Now I think I need to turn it off and on again sometimes. That apparently seems to be an issue with the program. Let's try again. Of course, it's not that important to see me, but sometimes it makes it a little more, interacting in some sense. So the space station is now in Chile or something like that. And I think it's down south here, somewhere here, that they have these sheeps and they are going grassing and so forth. And it's pretty tasty as well. So that's not a problem. But again, in regards of, I think it's, if I can buy some Danish sheep instead, that's, wonderful. I have found some place, I'm still looking into it, but I have one place that I'm going to order a lamb from. And I have another place where it also, probably going to taste a little different, the different lambs. Oh yeah, we still have sometimes they have the camera where you can actually see that the Earth is round and so forth. But, so apparently now we're looking down on Argentina as well, it seems. But there's a lot of, but an interesting program. It's not like it's, it's okay. It's, and speed 27,000 kilometers in hours. So, but anyway, I'm not sure why it actually goes up and down, how that works in space. Maybe it's because our planet goes, it's around and tops, and maybe the satellite goes, so maybe it goes like up and down. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works out, but anyway. Oh, we have India over here, and Oh yeah. Anyway, let's take the next program. But if one wants to look and so forth, one can do that. That's one interesting program. So let's Latin America, where all that Roman Catholicism, Satanism. Oh yeah, Romanism is all over this earth. It's just very sad. The whole riding the beast, and the beast is the so-called popes. Different. Every single pope is the king of the beast. He's the representative king of this system. So he's the Antichrist, the historical Antichrist. Anyway, people don't know these things anymore. Of course, apparently the Jesuits, the Society of Satan, have been very, very effective. And we don't know anything anymore. We don't know our history, or that the Protestant pointed to the so-called Pope, to the so-called Holy Father in Rome, the Roman Caesar, as the Antichrist. Anyway, this program is just a program where you can see some of the different star signs and get some history, pagan history, a lot of pagan things. In regards to the star signs. So, of course, there's apparently different places in the world that have different ideas of the star signs. For example, about Leo, I had another one that looked like the same star signs, but had another name from some other place. In one of these star programs I had, you could choose different, Western star signs, and from different places in the world. So it's not the same apparently all over the world. But that's a program as well if one wants to study that. It's named Constellations. But again, I'm really not interested in the pagan things and all that. That's... So let's go over here. Next program, yeah. Oh. Nope, not that one. We can't start with that. Okay, so we take Iridium. An Iridium program is like a program for the Iridium satellites in space. But if I turn it around here, it's probably not going to be that big on YouTube. But the thing is, you update it, you can see the Iridium 54 satellite, and at the 5th November and the 18th November, and November, by the way, is number 9 in Latin. I think it comes from Latin. November, December is 10, and so forth. And September is 7, October is 8, and so forth. And then, of course, you have 2 months in regards of Augustus and Julius. So those are 2 people that, believe they were gods and so forth. And then you have the pagan month of Janus, and you have, different pagan things. And of course you have the weekdays as well, paganism. Everything is paganism. Of course, this Roman, Julian, Gregorian, satanic sun calendar is not biblical. And the new year is in the spring and not in the winter. But anyway, and the Jews keep the new year in the fall, and we keep it in the winter, and it's in the written word, in the Bible, in the word, which we, of course, go by, should go by anyway. Well, in the Bible, it's in the spring that the new year is. God says it's in the spring. And why can't we follow God? Why do we follow all these vain traditions? Anyway, so you have these times where this satellite comes 7:19, and you can then, if there's not cloudy and all that, you can go out and look for it and see this flash. And I have 4 programs of this. I have Heavens Above as well. And Heavens Above is yeah, you can see. But the thing is, the programs have different satellites in some sense, and I just need one program, right? It would just be easier to just learn one program. But apparently, the different programs have different satellites. Apparently, I think in Heavens Above you can change the degree, so if it's too long down in regards of the horizon or something like that, you can it was at 10 degrees standard in the program, and I put it down to 0. So probably these three first one is harder to see or something like that. But that's the 11th. No, that's the 13. Sorry, the 13 that they are going to come by apparently. But again, I live in Denmark, and in Denmark it's a lot of gray in regards of the sky. You have all those clouds all the time. And so next is ISS detector. And that, again, the same thing, I use it for the iridium, and you have different iridium. Or maybe this is the one that you can, do the settings at 10 degrees. Or I think, no, it seems to be the other one. But in any case, you can then, and you can even see where the next satellite is, it seems. And it says 20 hours and do we? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, that's the ISS. Come afar, it's really traveling quickly. Where was the satellites? That lost apparently. We have some information in regards of the ISS, it seems, as well. So yeah, great. So there's a bigger eye on this one than the other one, so maybe one can actually see better with this one or something like that. Still not sure what all these like minus 3.6 is, and some say 0.8, and I have no idea if it's in regards to the light or something like that. What did I push? Oh yeah, that's when you need to find it. You can turn the mobile to find out where it's where it should be and so forth. So that's one of the things to help you. You have and that works pretty good. It doesn't seem like it's it may be a little off and so forth, but still still helps you. It's still something I'm still doing in some sense, just to see these things. Then we have Skyflare. It's the same thing. I have 3 satellites here. 54 I think we had on the other program as well, but here it is only once, I think it was. But here's the 16 November, 18 November, and 20 November. So I don't really know, and you have brightness different, brightness -7 and brightness 1 and brightness -1.4, and I have no idea why some of them are plus and some of them are minus. It doesn't really make sense to me. I'm sure there's some kind of explanation. There we have the altitude as well and all that, but so I need to see more of these satellites to get more information on it. Overall, it doesn't really matter, but if you want to see that there's satellites up there, that's one way, and it's pretty interesting when you see it. Then of course you have the satellites where it has, I think it's like one of the programs have radio satellites. Heavens Above have radio satellites. And if you have a walkie-talkie or whatever, I'm not sure what but I've seen one on YouTube walk with like some kind of walkie-talkie, and you can then hear the satellite, apparently, radio wave thingy, like a beat or something like that. The night's events and the ISS, of course. It should be possible to see as well, it seems, but I'm not sure I've seen it, but something to but anyway, that's 4 programs to look into if one wants to do that. Then we have a satellite program. Yep. Radio search. The globe search is still under construction. So this is a program to see satellites. Really dry. Yeah. Not sure if it's actually possible to actually eat greens without sugar. That would be nice. But in any case, here that's my area. I'm very close to Copenhagen. And then you can see the satellites which are, in the area in some sense. So there's a possibility that you could probably see the satellites if you walked outside. If you could see the stars and, if there wasn't any clouds and so forth. So, yep, that's one program. I really don't need all these. Anyway, so we have NASA VIS and we have a crash. Things tend to crash on on these mobiles. Oh, I'm tired. Also getting dark outside already. Okay, so here we have different what do you call it, articles in regards of different things. A map of fresh water, different things, probably interesting things, but there's so many things to learn in life, and you can continue and continue and continue. And when you are coming to the point where you're going to leave this world, there's still a lot more you could learn. It's just huge amount of information these days. It's incredible. Let's see the fresh water. Let's just push it and see what happens. Okay, Fountain Lake. It's a little slow. Maybe it's because I'm uploading or something like that. So, So are the red areas freshwater or something like that? Yeah, that must be snow because, it should also be freshwater at, oh, they have a video. Anyway, one can look into that as well, and there's some interesting information. Wandering planets, Hubble discovers a new moon, the Bubble Nebula, how Earth lost its cool, whatever. That's So we took the satellites. So we have heavens above. Then we have one program in regards of sending satellites into space, and if we go up, this is the next one, upcoming, 4:00 a.m. GMT plus 10. I wonder if that is the time I'm actually in, and 4 a.m. that should actually be finished or something like that, or maybe it's actually going already at the moment. Always ad block. We don't want to have the YouTube to show that. You have ads and all that with YouTube, and I don't really want to use that program. It's business time launch, apparently. Getting a little slow. Maybe they are finished with the sending of the satellites. But they send a lot of satellites up into space and fix it in live motion. And let's go a little forward and see how they. That's too late. Maybe too. But then they show when they shoot it. Oh, let's go a little forward or backward. see if they shoot it up.
These spacecraft will form the foundation of a global Internet of Things communications constellation
There you
to
go.
provide internet connectivity
And there you have
for millions of
on the
sensor
left
devices
side
in remote
how things
locations across
goes
the
and
planet.
so forth.
Applications for Fleet's tech are almost endless and range from precision.
Yeah. That's maybe too much. I see 15 minutes seems to be good. Let's try.
The 3D printed Rutherford engines start their life in sunny California, where they are assembled and then shipped to New Zealand.
C16 maybe. Yep, that is tried it. There we go.
I can confirm ground power is dropped on all stages.
Oh, it looks like there's a little burning in it now.
Pressing locks.
So you can see these on live things, and probably some of the places you can probably see the rockets in real life, I would imagine. So I can just make this larger. Yay! Oh, it's going to shoot me. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, let's see. That's 1 minute to launch. And I can't really... So you can follow the procedure
and confirm. Anti-geysering is disabled.
of these things, and you can also chat with people as well, and you can see it live, and they,
Stage 2, confirm stage 2.
sometimes they interview people and all that. I haven't seen that much. I've just seen a little here and there, and it's not really interesting, but if you want to see that they're actually sending a lot of rockets with satellites and all that, that's
Pumps on, jelly's
that's
running.
one way of doing it. A lot of people,
Setting GNC states.
the last where I saw where they interviewed this military guy in regards of I think it was for the military, this satellite, but again, I'm not really interesting that much in it, but again, if you want to make sure that there's probably satellites up in the air, that this is not a big deception or anything. There we go. Now we have it. It's going to shoot.
3, 2, 1.
And there it goes. Lift off. But apparently they're shooting a lot of these rockets, so there's a lot of... It's it seems to be nearly... maybe not every day, but at least close to, they're shooting a lot, that's for sure, of these rockets up in the air. So, if people are interested in that, they can download the application and they can see, live shoots. So, flat Earth theory.
50% of maximum.
Oops. Flat Earth theory is just, it's just it's theory. It's just not very. It's a deception. I think it goes back to the Jesuits, and some other people think that as well. So I'm not alone on that. It's great deception to destroy a lot of, to have people focus on things that are not true, and make a lot of issues for others, if you see how flat earthers are really
Stage 1 propulsion still nominal.
what do you call it, they are very, you use a lot of time to they're really not made it easier for Christians, that's for sure. Another deception, again, could absolutely be promoted by the Jesuits, that's for sure. And I ended up deleting a lot of people on Facebook because they just went flat Earth, and it was just too much for me, Give me a break, that's just too much, Flat Earth, give me a break. But again, you can prove to yourself that the Earth is not flat, There's a lot of things that you can go look at, and, for example, star program and look, and you can find the northern point and find the southern point. You have 2 points where the stars goes around. That couldn't be in the flat Earth model. Okay, we can observe something and what do you call it? Extrapolate that the Earth seems to be round because we have 2 points in the north and the south where the stars goes around. Seems like, you know, it fits that the Earth is round. So, but again, you can see the satellites images, live satellite images, or from a space station anyway. And here you can also see a little, maybe, doesn't look that round at the moment in regards of the horizon, but in any case, you know, there's a lot of things going on, you know. Oh, that was a lot of round things. Of course, I'm not sure if this is an animation of it or if this is you know, somewhere they put in animations in the things. So, not sure if it is an animation of it. You know, it is.
2.5 kilometers per second.
It may be real camera. I'm not sure.
Nominal track.
Yeah, I'm not sure. At least have cameras there and there. Launch selection. It may be true real life video. I'm not sure in regards of but anyway. So, but the thing is, there's no idea in actually. So anyway, you can go look at this yourself and have a blast at that. And again, there's a lot of you know. Let's see. 11 November, 14 November, 15 November, 15 November, 16 November, 19 November, 19 November, 21, 25, 26. You know, so, not every day, but, you know, pretty often I would think, you know, pretty often that you can go and see it alive. And you can go over to those that has been sent. I'm not sure if you can actually see them. I think there's actually a possibility to do that. Yeah, watch. Push on watch. Let's see if we can see an old launch. I would think that it would be out there, you know. But probably if you've seen one, you've probably seen them all. I would think it would be a lot of the same and the same and the same. But again, I haven't seen that many, and I'm not that interested in it. Yeah, it's you know, you can see the old as well. So
Legacy.
Lots of information. Here we have the rocket. Looks pretty cool in some sense. Looks pretty. You can see the rocket fixing up and probably going to launch as around 15 to 20 minutes in it.
Activity. At T-minus 1 minute and 40 seconds, the team will command the flight control system to launch enable.
So we're going to a little closer.
Securing Centauri LO2.
T minus. I'm not sure what T minus is. That like time minus?
Launch enabled. 137.
Maybe something like that. Uh-oh. Pushed a little more than I should. Is it coming? Coming.
28.
There we go.
ECS reduced for launch. Roger.
25.
Status check. Go Atlas. Go Centaur. Go
Go.
AHF-4.
Yeah, shouldn't it go off now or something like that?
T-minus
T-minus.
10,
Oh,
9,
go.
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
We
2.
have ignition, 2, 1, and
Lift
liftoff
off.
of the AEHF-4 mission carried by United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket for the United States Air Force.
There you go. So there's a lot of those. So if people
20
want to
seconds in
look
the
at
flight.
those things, they can do that. Didn't stop it. There we go. So that's next space flight, where you can see the next space flight, next space flight, next space flight, and so forth. So that's one way of, you know, just verifying little of the things that they're actually sending a lot of rockets up and so forth, you know. Then we have some of the sky maps if one wants to look at the heavens and so forth. Yeah, and you can look around and see. I haven't really used this program much. I actually think there's probably another one that is better because it's not using the camera. I have a one that use a camera where you could, help on where you are and all that. So I'll probably delete this one, but I think it's Skyview free, and try. Yeah, there we go. And this is my apartment. But of course, if you're standing outside, and then you can like see. I don't really like the music and all that, but anyway, I think there was a way to actually turn that off. And if not, of course, you can just take the sound down. There's Mars and so forth, and again, so here it actually uses the camera to see where things are. So that would probably be easier to find the stars. But I haven't tried it that much. And the other camera stopped apparently. Anyway, so that's Skyview free, and I need to reset the camera. I'm not sure why it does this, but try again. There we go, live again. So that's Skyview free, that actually does that. Then we have Sky Safari. That's free. But I like the other program more because I'm more used to it. But again, if you just want to have one free program and all that, that's, so many informations and my brain is just overloading. But that's one program. But I must say, the same program, I have Stellarium that is pretty much the same, but it cost money, but I like this more. That's the thing I'm used to, and I don't really need more programs than one, right? So this is the one that I have used a little in regards of finding the north and the south, and you want to find the North Star, you just let's have some. That were a little too fast. There we go. And you go to the north. And there we go, Polaris. Zoom in. And you find the north spot where all the stars are pretty much turning around. There you go. And you can go south and do the same thing and find the south point. So you have the north point and the south point and so forth. So you have 2 points where the stars are turning around about, So actually I can probably find it if I turn, let's see, this one out. Standing at the same place, just need to have some motion. Let's try. That's a good question. Sometimes you can also make it where you it's a little harder to find the southern point to where they are, but I think we are little there we go. I think it's around here someplace, down here maybe. Polaris Australis. So this is the southern point, and if we make it faster, you should be able to see that, it's turning around that point in the southern hemisphere. And you don't need to be in the south. You just need to be under the equator, it seems, and to see the south point, and over the equator to see the north point. So it's possible to travel for yourself or ask someone that is, in Africa or South America or Australia, and ask them, hey, can you see this? And the thing is, if there was something wrong with the programs, with the stars and all that, I'm sure someone would have said something, right? But this is something one can do for himself. If people believe the Earth is flat, this is a way to pretty much. But this is a way to discount that. Let's see if we can get the. There we go. So that's pretty much it for. I don't think I have much more in regards of the flat Earth. Daft Moon and Sunrise, Sunset is just programs that I use for the moon, when the moon goes up, when the moon goes down, when it's new and so forth, and also the sun when it rises and when it sets, and you can see that over here, and this is the moon, and then you have the planets down here as well. Not really using it that much, but it's a program where you can see the different planets. See here, Mercury, Venus, Mars. So I think it's like the Earth is here, right? And Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. That's probably also, pagan things in regards to that, right? The god Mars, whatever, and the Venus, the female goddess, and whatever, the false gods. It doesn't matter whatever we worship besides the true living God, it's worshiping Satan. Satan doesn't care if you worship a tree or the moon or the sun or the earth or whatever, as long as you're not worshiping the true living God. Find out who Jesus is. Who is Jesus? That Satan has put so many false versions of Jesus out on the market. So find out who Jesus is. Read the 4 first books in the New Testament: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And you should have a good understanding, or a lot better understanding, of who Jesus actually is. And you can discount all the false versions of Jesus. But here you can also, I've used this, to try to find out how the sun and all that, and standing in Israel, and how the sun goes, lower and then it goes up and so forth, and the pagan celebration of the birth of the sun, the solar birth, sun god, solar god, the pagan. Yeah, you have the Romanism and all that sun fallacy, solar fallacy, and the solar disc, and the monstrance where they put the cookie Jesus, the false cookie Jesus, which is, sacrificed apparently for the living and the dead and so forth. It's the most disgusting thing, these whorehouses that, there's, and praying to Mary and dead saints and whatever, Mystery Babylon, the whole riding the beast, and the beast is the popes, so-called popes, the so-called holy fathers, the Caesar, the Pontifex Maximus, and so forth. Anyway, taking upon himself all the titles of the true living God. So he's the Antichrist, the beast. Anyway, you can read about that, in the Bible, and that's probably why the Catholic Church didn't want you to read the Bible, because it was actually pointing and exposing the Antichrist. So that's a very clever trick in regards of, fixing yourself in the disguise of the truth. Yep. Anyway, so it's a neat little program, at least if you want to, in regards of some things happens. There's some weird things going on. I've used it a little here and there and looked into it. You should be able to actually. Oh, this is the pro. Okay. So here we have the planets, Mercury, Venus, and you should be able to also rotate it. Oh no, I just got things in my eye. Oh, what do you call it? Peppermint oil in my eyes. And here we can see the model we have. Some believe that the Earth actually can be the center. You know, that a model can work as good as the Earth being in the center as the Sun being in the center. Apparently, it's just a matter of mathematical things or whatever. But you know, it's still a little mind blowing seeing the models, and I'm not sure what to make of it. In some sense, it's still something I research. You know, there's a lot of ideas which are false and all that out there, but yeah, apparently it's something that some of the Catholics are really into, because they apparently have a doctrine that, you know, that the Earth is standing still and in the middle of the universe and all that. You know, I'm not saying it is not, but it wouldn't be a problem either way if the planet goes around the sun and the sun goes around the planet. But of course, it's, you know, it's interesting to look into. But you can use a lot of time on these different theories and all that, and yeah. But you know, they have made this model where you can see the model where the same things is happening, where the first Mercury, Venus, and Mars and the Sun are going around the Earth and making the exact same thing in regards to observations than if the Sun and Venus and Mercury and Mars is going around the Sun. And it's just a little mind blowing, and I'm like, there must be some issues, you know. And maybe there are, but I'm not sure. It's the pain of oil. Anyway, so I'm not sure there's any, you know, Darth Moon was in regards to the moon. Oh, that's the the program that we were in, and you can hear the voice is a little rusty, and that's because I'm on this meat diet. It just makes it more rusty. I'm not sure why again. It's okay, but anyway, let's see sunrise and sunset. Oh. So, and it looks like, I think these things is because of the time where we changed the time 1 hour and all that. Yeah, you can see the planet in regards to winter solstice. And if I remember correctly, the winter solstice is where they believe that the sun god, the so-called solar god, you know, have different names apparently, is dead 3 days and rises on the 3rd day and so forth. But Christ Mass has nothing to do with the Bible. Christ Mass is the Mass of the Catholics, where they make this piece of bread into a so-called God. And they are apparently allowed to worship it, and they eat it as well and walk around, you know, put this round piece wafer in this monstrance and walk around with it and whatever, you know. It goes back to paganism. You know, it is a really good trick of Satan disguising paganism, you know, behind Christianity, a facade of Christianity, and then having all the pagan things and just Christianizing them. That's what Rome has been very good at doing, you know, taking all the pagan doctrines and then Christianizing them. So, but anyway, we're getting closer to all these pagan traditions, and they're already begun. The Christ Mass, we call it Yule in Denmark because Yule goes back to some other pagan things, but we never got to the point of actually changing the name, so we still have Yule, so still have some pagan flavor, so it wasn't totally so-called Christianized, like called Christ Mass. And you can find people that, Christians that, where Christ Mass was illegal and so forth. And, you can't find it in the Bible, And so it's... we have all these pagan traditions, Easter, Halloween, Christ Mass, and many more that we keep, that is not found in the Bible. And all those traditions, all those things that the feast of God, we're not keeping those, but we're keeping the pagan feast. And people are defending the pagan feast and, with nails and claws, they're defending those pagan traditions and attacking people that wants to keep those found in the Bible. It's really crazy, And then they think that if someone tries to keep the law and feast days, for example, then you have lost salvation. But it's okay to continue to keep pagan feast days and then you're saved. Then you don't, it's just, I think it's insanity. Why would you lose salvation for keeping commandments of God? It's just, it doesn't make sense. And of course, if you actually see what Jesus says that, whosoever just, breaks the smallest commandments and teach others to break them should be the smallest in the kingdom of heaven. Not saying that they are not in the kingdom of heaven, but they are the smallest, and those that keep the commandments of God and teach others to do it are the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So, but we are all sinners and we all need Jesus, we all need Jesus, that's for sure. This is also where you can see the sun goes up and down. Usually you can, I'm not sure that's a way where you can actually go forward. Or maybe that's the other one. But you can see how the sun moves around. Then you can move to, for example, Jerusalem and see that the sun is more higher in some sense and than in Denmark and all that. Yeah, I have this oil in my eye. Sorry about that. Mercury, Venus, and then we have the Earth and Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus and Neptune. So here we have the planets again. So anyway, there we go. Yep. So that was some programs that people could check if they want. Skyflare, ISS detector, Heavens Above, Iridium is the 4 in regards to these satellites that makes a flash. Stellarium Mobile is my preferred program in regards of looking at stars and in regards of the phenomenon of the stars turning around these 2 points and all that. And that was actually pretty much what I needed it for. That was mostly what so Sky Safari is free. You can, they have some upgraded versions where they have a lot of information and all that. But I don't really need that. I'm not interested in it. But if someone is interested in regards of space and all that, but you can use so much time on these things. And I actually just downloaded these things to get some more understanding, to refute the flat earthers, have some information in some sense. You also have those videos where they, for example, in Denmark, take a picture of this building and then move longer away and longer away and longer away, and you can just see the building is, going. You can see less and less of the building. And just, there was this video on YouTube, also very, very good in regards of seeing where you can see the curve in things, they had like a huge 10 minutes or something like that of so many where you can just, ships and bridges and, lines of power, and where you can just see where it begins to. But then, of course, you had I think it was this Discovery Channel where they also made the chopper, where they had a light, where they were sitting at water level, and one guy is sitting over here, and then they go over on the other side in the helicopter. And the helicopter, he can't see it when it's at the bottom, and then they begin to go up with the helicopter. And then he is, when he can see the helicopter, he will say it, and I think they get pretty far up in the air before he can actually see it on the other side. That's one experiment. And of course, this experiment in regards to this, there's a building over in Sweden. So they stood over in the Danish side and looked and, have different angles of that. And you can see less and less of the building, So there's a lot of those things, and the video where they just collected all those goodies of these different videos of where So I think we should pretty much begin to get away from this deception. Why is this deception even, going along? How is it people can't see it's just false? Satan is very good at making decoys for people and then also making issues for Christianity, like, for example, Roman Catholicism. Because when people, for example, want to look into Christianity, what are they going to look into? Well, they're going to probably look into Roman